Bruce Pearl, he's the head coach at Auburn. Last night, they had a pretty good run at Duke there, joining us in the Continental Tire Coach's Corner. Coach, how are you this morning?
I'm good, Dan, and I'm really glad to be on the Continental Tire Coach's Corner because Continental Tire is a major sponsor of Auburn basketball.
Yes, and they are great people to work with. So let's start with last night. What did you expect to happen?
I thought we'd play better. Duke hit us in the mouth early, Dan, and they don't play like freshmen. And, I just thought that if we could have knocked out some shots early and maybe put a little scare into them, then we'd have a fighting chance. Instead, it was the other way around. The young team came out. They're confident. They're talented. They're well coached. They're as good as advertised.
But it felt, and you guys got in early foul trouble there, and that's why I kept waiting for, was Auburn going to be able to be Auburn basketball, and then we would see, just how close this game could be. Did you think that maybe it was going to get out of hand there early?
We fouled too much, and, what makes Duke so good is they've got some really tough one-on-one covers. I thought we did a really good job on Zion Williamson last night. Chuma Kiki, that was a good matchup for us. But we had a really hard time with the other guards, keeping those guys out of the lane. Yeah. And then once those guys would make penetration, it would draw defense. They'd kick it out. One of the ways to beat them is to make perimeter shots, and they made, enough perimeter shots to win the game.
Do you think they'll go undefeated?
No. They're beatable, and I don't say that just out of criticism. They first of all, they're not very deep. They're top 4 freshmen plus the kid Marquise Bolden, who Dan has improved tremendously. A great story about you don't need to be just a one and done to be successful. There's a kid that's punched his clock for 3 years. And he's improved and didn't transfer when he wasn't getting playing time because they were constantly bringing in all these great freshmen. He got better. He's a real key to their team, but they're not real deep. So if you have a team that can get those guys in foul trouble, they're susceptible.
How would you describe your pregame speech?
Typical, ineffective.
That's what I wondered. It's just fire. I mean, you're so excited. You're pumped up. Your head is exploding. It's beet red. And then you go out there and you're down by 16. And I went, so much for that speech.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you got to talk the talk, and then other times you have to walk the walk. And, it's interesting, Dan. This is going to be our third game now today in a row. And it's psychologically and physically, especially on the players, really, really challenging. Like tonight, the championship game is, the Zags against Duke. Part of it's going to be, which team got a chance to play its bench a little bit more, which team is going to be a little fresher. For us tonight, we had an overtime win against Xavier and a very hard-fought game, to stay within 6 against Duke. We have Arizona tonight. And this game that would be played against tonight against us in Arizona could be a different outcome if it was just one game this week. And so that's the kind of going to be interesting to see today, all these different matchups.
Do you coaches hang out in Hawaii together?
No, we have too much tape to watch. Right now it's 6:25. I'm probably up for a couple of hours trying to get caught up on this, Arizona tape. Because these are big games. These games matter in March.
Yep.
And so we don't hang out. We don't fish. We don't go on the beach. Hopefully our families do, and they're having a great time. But there aren't enough hours in a day for us to get our teams prepared in one day.
Is it mandatory to wear a Hawaiian shirt or a lei?
No. Especially when you're sponsored by Under Armour or Nike or Adidas.
No.
They want to see those. They want to see those logos. So they're really not interested in putting a Tommy Bahama on us in Maui. Got to represent.
Well, why doesn't Nike or Under Armour come up with a Hawaiian shirt that's made specific for the Maui Invitational?
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yep, that's me.
You're in the wrong business. You are in the wrong business. Right
Product placement. Did you prepare more for R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish, or Zion last night?
I probably prepared more for Duke than any one of those individuals. You know, when you hear the term, it's all about matchups. It is not a coined phrase. It is absolutely accurate in the study of just scouting and one opponent versus another, one system versus another system. And, you know, some guys sort of have your number. Certainly when it comes to Duke, it is about a personnel preparation. You've got to know Zion's tendencies. You've got to know RJ's tendencies. They're both left-handed. They both like to go downhill. You know, how do you guard them? And you want to make sure your kids get enough film so they gives them a fighting chance. But the last thing I'll say, you can't guard them one-on-one. You've got to be able to be in gaps and try to build a wall and keep those guys on the perimeter if you can.
Well, it says a lot about you in the program, though, that ranked 8th already, and you went toe-to-toe with them and lived to tell about it. So good luck against Arizona. It's always great to talk to you, Coach. Thank you.
I always enjoy it, Dan. Thank you.
That's Bruce Pearl, Auburn head coach. Continental Tire Coach's Corner. Continental Tire, proud to be the exclusive tire of the Dan Patrick Show. No matter where you drive or what you drive, Continental designs tires for what you do. For more information, visit ContinentalTire.com. Continental Tire, for what you do.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.